Welcome to another RaiderPower Mailbag. I'm Jarrett Johnson, and once again, I'm happy to say I'm joined by senior writer Joe Yeager. Joe, thanks for joining.
All right, man. Glad to be here.
All right, we're going to jump right into your questions. Tech 2010 wants to know about Polite Bray, DJ Polite Bray, and the likelihood of him really making an impact in the 2014 season. Joe, how do you see that playing out?
Well, I definitely think he's going to get some snaps and be in the rotation, and you know, he will make an impact, but obviously the top two guys on the outside are Reggie Davis, and I think the other guy who, and I believe you agree with me on this, is that Devin Lauderdale will probably emerge on the other side there, but Polite Bray getting in there is going to be a good backup. I actually see him as probably being, I think he's going to be a little bit better than Derek Edwards. I'm higher on him than I am on Edwards.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything you said there. I'm really expecting Lauderdale to have a big season and a breakthrough. I know in practice Edwards is running with the ones, or at least the little I saw he was. But long time till the season starts, and I think, like you said, Lauderdale will emerge. Next question comes from Red Raider 28. He wants to know about Chad Dennis, special teams, or strength and conditioning coach. Thank you, Joe. I'm glad you're here. Oh, yeah. I have my back. Strength and conditioning coach Chad Dennis, his impact, and if we're really going to see that play out this year or even this spring. And I have to say, I'm going to go ahead and grab this because I've been around a lot of the players this spring. Yes, I've already seen it. Chad Dennis's work paid dividends. I know Coach Wallerstadt told me that Josh Keys by National Signing Day had already put on 15 to 20 pounds of muscle, which is, I mean, that's significant, especially on his 6'1", 6'2" frame. Also, Brandon Jackson, if y'all seen the video, I mean, he's up to around 270. He just looks, I mean, jacked. He just looks ready to go. And then Davis Webb, I mean, he looks like a completely different guy right now. I mean, he goes from that beanpole, everybody like to call him, to, you know, a really good, solid quarterback, and his target weight is, as he said on one of the videos I provided for you, was around 220, which is about right.
And did you say he cut his hair?
He did cut his hair, so he might shave a little time off his 40 there.
Yeah, right.
Okay. The next question comes from M. Reyna, TTU 17. He wants to know basically our take on the free safety position. Do we think Josh Keys is going to take that starting spot? What do you think, Joe?
Well, he's got a legitimate shot at it. I think that you got some sort of unproven people there right now. With Josh Keys, obviously a newcomer. We don't know that much about him. Keenan Ward, Jalen Barnes, the redshirt freshman. Yeah. Out of that group of three, I think they're going to be cutting some pretty good wood there. I think ultimately there's a lot of talent there, but we just don't know that much about them. I think Keenan Ward is eventually going to develop into a very good player, particularly against the run. But Josh Keys, you know, he's a fluid, athletic guy. He's even got the potential to play cornerback, which tells you something about his coverage skills. And as you mentioned, up to around 200 pounds now. So Keys is looking great from everything we're hearing, but that position I think ultimately is going to emerge and be a strong one for Tech.
I agree. I think all of them are going to play, you know, just due to attrition and the nature of football. At some point, they're all going to have to step up and play. And it may, like you said, Keys may even have to slide over to corner, or who knows. But I still think because of that depth, overall, the defensive backfield is going to be much stronger this year than last year, even with the losses of Jones and Porter. And the next question is from Ivy Raider. It's a recruiting question. Wants to know basically if there's going to be a Domino Commit. Ivy Raider thought it was going to be Stidham, which I still think it may be. I still think it may not be instant gratification, but I still think Stidham is going to be the bell cow, if you will. I mean, obviously, #1 quarterback in Texas, #4 overall in the country, great dual threat. I think that when it's all said and done, Stidham is going to account or be kind of part of that domino effect, as you said, with this class. Now, obviously, if Tech could land a big defensive recruit early, that would really help. I know a lot of people were going to want Malik Jefferson, who #2 linebacker or #2 overall recruit in the country. But I think maybe a defensive tackle or like a Jefferson, obviously, or somebody like that could really lead to a domino effect on defense. but we're just going to have to see how it plays out. Next question comes from H-Town 59. Wants to know about Dakota Allen, and he said he's followed him in the Humble area since Allen was a freshman. He wants to get our opinion about if we think he could come in and contribute as a freshman at one of the inside linebacker spots. Joe, what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, you got two really rock-solid starters in there, I think, in Micah Alway and Sam McGuavin. Yeah. And failing those guys suffering any sort of injury or anything like that, those guys are going to be soaking up almost all the meaningful snaps. But, of course, as we found out last year, defensive depth is extremely important. Could Allen sneak in there and be a depth guy? You know, it's not out of the question. He's got the basic ability to do so, but maybe more than likely a special team guy, or even best of all, you redshirt the guy. I mean, the best programs are the ones that don't have to rely on somewhat marginal true freshmen to come in and play meaningful reps. So is it possible? Yeah, but I think probably not a great likelihood at this point.
Another 2014 signee recruiting question. This from Imrena TTU 17 again. Wants to know about Nigel Bethel coming out of the Miami, Florida area. If we think that he could come in and contribute automatically. Joe, what's your take on that?
Well, he might have a little bit of a better chance than Allen, would be my guess. Justice Nelson is obviously the lockdown guy at one of the cornerback positions, and he's not going anywhere. He's the guy there. At the other cornerback position, you do have some questions. I mean, what do we really know about Naguma? Not a whole lot. Yeah. And Ty Middleton is a guy, I think, who eventually is going to be very, very good. But he's probably more raw at that position than Bethel will be. You know, even though he's a JUCO guy and you got a true freshman coming in, the true freshman is a natural cornerback who's played that position, whereas Middleton is coming over from running back. So, I mean, there may be an opportunity for somebody like a Bethel to sneak in there and really just upset the apple cart. But I think Middleton eventually is going to be a good player there.
All right. Hey, great stuff once again. Really appreciate your questions. And, Joe, I really appreciate you joining me once again. And thanks for joining us on the mailbag. Till next time.